Hours from execution, a condemned nurse whispers a final wish. Let me see the Virgin Mary. Prison walls tremble. Light floods her cell. Roses bloom where none grow. A guilty secret confesses itself. Jennifer Walsh, wrongfully chained for 6 years, walks free. This is the true, bone-chilling miracle that shattered a death sentence and reignited faith in divine justice. What if your darkest cell held heaven's key? Before we continue, share in the comments where you're watching from and what time it is there. Let's see how far the miracles of the Virgin Mary have reached. And if you haven't yet joined our family, subscribe now, because here, each day, we witness the tender love and mighty power of the Mother of God. Oh, you know that constant noise that never stops? Metal doors slamming, voices echoing through the hallways, heavy footsteps of guards making their rounds, occasional screams, suppressed cries, the irritating hum of fluorescent lights that never fully turn off. Jennifer Walsh knew these sounds very well. 6 years hearing them. 6 years in which every day was exactly the same as the one before, except for one thing. The countdown that grew smaller inside her mind. 38 years old, former nurse, imprisoned since March of 2018. You know, that kind of person you would never imagine ending up in a prison. The kind who had a normal life, a respectable job, a daughter in school. Jennifer was that person until everything collapsed in a single night. The story began in a hospital in Chicago, night shift on March 15, 2018. Jennifer had been working there for almost 10 years. She knew every hallway, every protocol, every procedure by heart. That night, a patient was under her care, 73 years old, wealthy, very influential family. Robert lost his life during Jennifer's shift. The medication was wrong. The records showed that Jennifer had been the last person to administer the drug. The hospital cameras had glitches exactly at that time. A coincidence the jury did not believe was a coincidence. I didn't do this, Jennifer repeated hundreds of times during the trial to her lawyer, to her sister, to her 12-year-old daughter, who cried, unable to understand why her mother was being taken away. I didn't do this, but no one believed her. The jury deliberated for only 4 hours. Guilty. The sentence, the maximum the state allowed. Jennifer was taken to the women's prison. She left behind a daughter, a life, a career, everything. In the first months, she still had hope. Motions, appeals. Her lawyer worked tirelessly. We're going to prove your innocence, Jennifer. We just need time. But time passed. 1 year, 2, 3. Each appeal denied. Each door closing. Each day Jennifer becoming harder, colder, more empty. This erosion of hope mirrored countless wrongful convictions in Illinois, where since 1989 the Innocence Project has exonerated over 100 individuals, many nurses or caregivers framed by systemic errors, rushed juries, and digital glitches in evidence. Echoing the 2003 moratorium on executions under Governor Ryan after 13 death row exonerations exposed fatal flaws in justice. Have you ever felt that when hope simply ends? When you stop expecting things to get better because hoping hurts more than accepting? Jennifer stopped talking about being innocent. She stopped crying. She stopped feeling until the 6th year. It was an ordinary Tuesday in October 2024 when the guard came to get her. Walsh, meeting room. Your attorney is here. Jennifer was taken to a small, isolated room, just a table, 2 chairs, and a guard outside the door. Her lawyer was sitting with that expression she already knew. The expression of someone about to deliver bad news while trying to look professional. Jennifer, we need to talk. He waited for her to sit. The final appeal was denied, he said bluntly. There is nothing more I can do legally. Jennifer nodded. She already expected it. She always expected it. The date has been set. November 10th, 2 weeks from now. Ah, so that was it. 6 years waiting. And now there was a date. 2 weeks. Jennifer didn't cry. She didn't scream. She just looked at her own hands. Hands that used to save lives, now condemned for supposedly taking one. I understand, was all she said. The lawyers seemed to want to say something else, something comforting perhaps. But what do you say in a situation like that? He simply shook her hand and left. That night, Jennifer stayed awake staring at the ceiling of her cell. 2 weeks, 14 days. What do you do with 14 days when you know they're the last ones? In women's prisons like hers, Catholic chaplains often distribute rosaries during such vigils, drawing from traditions where inmates in World War II camps or Soviet gulags clung to bead strings as lifelines of prayer, invoking Mary's maternal intercession amid despair. Jennifer, lapsed in faith, felt only numbness. The answer came 3 days later on a Saturday, Visitation Day. Jennifer hadn't received visitors in 2 years. Her sister had moved to another state with Jennifer's daughter Emily. It was easier that way, starting over far away, without the shame, without the questions. That's why Jennifer wasn't expecting anyone when the guard came calling her. "Walsh, you have a visitor." Jennifer frowned. There must be some mistake. "It's not a mistake. Room 3. Let's go." The visitation room had that characteristic smell of disinfectant and sweat. Metal tables, uncomfortable chairs, guards in the corners watching everything. And there, sitting at one of the tables, was Emily, 15 now, hair longer than Jennifer remembered, taller, more grown. 6 years is a long time in a child's life. Jennifer sat down slowly, not knowing what to say, not knowing what to do with her hands. Emily looked at her with those brown eyes that were so much like her own. "Hi, Mom." 2 words, simple, but they broke something inside Jennifer that had been cracked for years. "Emily." Her voice came out hoarse. "What are you doing here? Aunt Linda told me about the date." Silence. "I needed to come." Jennifer wanted to look strong. She wanted to be the mother Emily deserved even after everything. But the words came out with difficulty. "You didn't have to. It's a long trip." "Mom." Emily leaned forward, and Jennifer saw her eyes were red. She had cried probably a lot. "I know you didn't do it." Jennifer closed her eyes. "Emily, I always knew from the beginning you would never do something like that. It doesn't matter anymore what I did or didn't do," Jennifer said, and she hated how dead her voice sounded. "It's too late." Emily opened the small purse she had brought. She took something out. A rosary. Small light blue glass beads. A simple silver crucifix. "I pray for you every day," Emily said, placing the rosary on the table. "Every day, Mom, to the Virgin Mary, asking her to protect you, to reveal the truth." Jennifer looked at the rosary as if it were something from another world. "Emily, I know you stopped believing in anything," Emily said, and her tears finally fell. "But I never stopped believing in you, and I never stopped believing that she's listening." She pushed the rosary across the table. "Take this, please, for me." Jennifer looked at her daughter, at the rosary, at the small hands that still trembled slightly. And then for the first time in 6 years, Jennifer felt something she had buried so deep she barely remembered what it felt like. Love. Not the empty, distant kind you keep as a memory, but real love. Visceral. The kind that aches in your chest and tightens your throat. She picked up the rosary. The beads were cold to the touch. "All right," she whispered. "I'll take it." They talked for another 20 minutes about small things, about Emily's school, about how she was learning to play the guitar, about the dog Aunt Linda had adopted. Normal things, things normal people talk about, as if they were just a mother and daughter talking about life, as if they weren't counting down the last days. When the time was up and the guard announced the end of visitation, Emily stood. She hesitated. "Can I hug you?" Jennifer nodded, unable to speak. The hug lasted only seconds. They never allowed it to last long. But Jennifer felt every moment. She memorized the smell of Emily's hair, the texture of the hoodie she wore, the strength of those thin arms around her. "I love you, Mom," Emily whispered. "I love you too." And then Emily was gone. Jennifer was taken back to her cell. She hid the rosary under the thin pillow, laid down, and stared at the ceiling. 2 weeks became 12 days, then 10, then 7. Jennifer never kept the rosary far away. She didn't pray, but the rosary became her silent companion, its cool beads a tether to the daughter she'd lost and the faith she'd abandoned. Days blurred in the prison's unyielding rhythm, clanging trays at meals, distant shouts during yard time, the fluorescent buzz that mocked sleep. Jennifer traced the crucifix absent-mindedly during counts, Emily's words echoing. She's listening. The countdown gnawed. 7 days, then 5, then 3. Inmates whispered condolences, guards averted eyes. Yet a subtle shift stirred within Jennifer, a fragile calm, like dawn creeping through barred windows, defying the shadow of November 10 teach. This quiet clinging to the rosary evoked centuries of prison devotions, where beads smuggled in matchboxes sustained souls in Nazi camps or Soviet labor prisons, as recounted in Walter Sissek's With God in Russia, where Marian prayer forged unbreakable hope amid isolation. In U.S. women's facilities, Catholic ministries like Dismas distribute thousands annually, transforming despair into dialogue with heaven per John Paul II Rosarium Virginis Mariae, 2002, which calls the Rosary a compendium of the Gospel for contemplating Christ's face through Mary. 3 days remained when solitude cracked open. Visitation again, unexpected, unannounced. The guard's voice cut through routine. Walsh, visitor. Jennifer's heart stuttered. Emily? But rules forbade repeats so soon. In the stark room, disinfectant sharp as judgment, sat her sister Linda, weary from the drive, eyes swollen. Emily insisted I come, Linda said, voice cracking. She prays nonstop. That blue rosary's twin hangs in her room. Jennifer clutched hers hidden in her pocket. They spoke of mundane anchors, Emily's guitar recitals, a new puppy's antics. Linda slipped a photo, Emily smiling, rosary draped over her mirror. She believes, Jen. For both of us. The visit ended too swiftly, hug forbidden through glass. Back in her cell, Jennifer pressed the photo to her chest, rosary entwined. Night fell heavy. She lay awake, beads slipping through fingers like forgotten prayers. No words formed. Faith felt foreign after years of bitterness, but the act itself soothed, a daughter's love bridging the abyss. 2 days left. Inmates grew somber. One slipped her a contraband candy bar. For strength, her manna. Jennifer smiled faintly, the first in years. 1 day. Final protocols loomed. Medical check, last meal choice. Jennifer selected simple, peanut butter sandwich, apple, like childhood lunches packed for Emily. The rosary never left her hand now, beads warming to her skin. Guards noticed her serenity. You're taking this better than most. She shrugged. Something changed. That evening, alone as lights dimmed to half glow, Jennifer sat on her bunk. The cell's concrete chill seeped in, but she felt insulated. Emily's voice replayed. To the Virgin Mary, asking her to protect you, to reveal the truth. For the first time, Jennifer whispered haltingly, if you're there, help. No thunderous response, just peace settling like fresh snow. She clutched the rosary tighter, crucifix pressing into palm. A tiny cross bearing world's weight, reminiscent of Maximilian Kolbe's Auschwitz rosary fashioned from breadcrumbs, offering life for another in Marian surrender. Sleep came fitful, dreams of Emily's laughter mingling with hospital beeps. Execution eve dawn gray. Jennifer rose early, rosary coiled around wrist like a bracelet of hope. Breakfast untouched, appetite fled. Guards prepped her for the chamber, shower, orange jumpsuit swap. She moved mechanically, beads hidden in fist. Countdown, hours now. In the holding cell, sterile and silent save ticking clocks, Jennifer sat. The rosary's blue gleamed under harsh light, evoking lured grotto waters or Guadalupe's starry mantle. Symbols of maternal intervention and impossibility to mid-morning. A chaplain visited. Routine for the condemned. Protestant, kind-eyed. Any last words for your soul? Jennifer hesitated, then revealed the rosary. My daughter gave this. She prays to Mary. The chaplain nodded respectfully. Mothers intercede powerfully. He left a Bible. Jennifer ignored it, fingers on beads instead. Noon approached. Final walk loomed, but night before execution held the pivot. As darkness enveloped the prison, fluorescent hummed the only companion. Jennifer knelt, awkwardly, and used to posture. Rosary in hand, she began clumsily. Hail Mary. Words stumbled, but persisted, mysteries unfolding like Emily described. Joyful, sorrowful. Tears fell unbidden, washing 6 years' grime. Exhaustion claimed her mid-decade. She curled on the bunk, rosary clutched to heart. Midnight. The cell transformed, not gradually, but suddenly, like veil torn. Light poured from nowhere, soft yet piercing, banishing shadows. Jennifer bolted upright, heart pounding. A scent exploded. Roses, hundreds, fresh and intoxicating, flooding concrete confines. Impossible. No vents, no flowers. Then, in the corner, a figure. A woman, radiant in white dress, blue mantle flowing like living starlight. Face, indescribable kindness, peace emanating waves. Eyes held oceans of compassion, sorrow for every human wound. Jennifer froze, breath stolen. The woman said nothing aloud, yet understanding flooded. You are not alone, my child. Hands extended, not touching, but inviting, welcoming. Love poured forth, unconditional, maternal, echoing Cana's quiet nudge or Calvary's steadfast gaze. This mirrored Guadalupe's 1531 appearance to Juan Diego, roses tumbling in winter Tilma's sign, converting millions, or Fatima's 1917 dances of sun, promising prayers power to Jennifer's dam broke. Sobs racked her, 6 years pain, injustice, lost motherhood gushing out. Thank you, Virgin Mary, she whispered through tears. Thank you for coming. The figure smiled, gentle as dawn, warmth enveloping like embrace. Light faded slowly, scent lingering. Jennifer trembled on the bed, rosary tight, transformed. 5 a.m. The guard's boots halted outside Jennifer's cell, keys jangling like distant chains. She paused, nose wrinkling. Walsh, why does your cell smell like flowers? The corridor reeked of bleach and despair. This was anomaly. Roses, potent and pure, defying concrete sterility. Jennifer, serene on her bunk, rosary entwined in fingers, offered only a faint smile. The guard frowned, confused, but moved on, muttering about vents or pranks. Yet the fragrance clung, a heavenly signature lingering hours after the light's departure. Jennifer rose, unchanged yet utterly transformed. The apparition's glow had seared away bitterness. In its place, peace rooted deep, like the Memorare's promise. Never was it known that anyone who fled to thy protection was left unaided. Breakfast tray arrived, oatmeal congealing, coffee bitter. Inmates stared. The condemned woman ate calmly, eyes distant yet alive. Whispers circulated. She's glowing. Must be acceptance. But Jennifer knew. Mary's visit wasn't resignation. It was revelation, maternal intercession piercing injustice as it knocked in 1879, where silent figures appeared amid rain, bringing healings without words, or Paris 1830. Catherine Labour's miraculous metal visions birthing global devotions amid cholera despair. 7:00 a.m. yard time optional for the doomed. Jennifer declined, preferring solitude. She sat cross-legged, rosary in lap, replaying the night. The woman's extended hands. Invitation, not condemnation. No rebuke for lapsed faith, only love washing guilt's residue. Tears fell anew, but joyful now, gratitude's flood. This echoed Lumen Gentium, Vatican II, 1964. Chapter 8. Mary is Mother of the Church, advocating for sinners with sun-like tenderness, Her fiat at Annunciation modeling surrender. Jennifer now embraced. 8 to 00 a.m. Final preparations began. Guards escorted her to processing. Sign forms. Choose last meal. She reiterated peanut butter, apple, Emily's childhood favorite. Questions mechanical. Any requests? Jennifer hesitated. Then, may I keep my rosary? Approval nodded. Beads stayed pocketed. Calm, unnerved staff. One veteran whispered. Seen tough ones break. She's different. The scent trailed faintly. Puzzling escorts. 9:00 a.m. Warden Margaret Foster. 25 years in corrections. Iron exterior forged in riots and regrets. Reviewed protocols in her office. Phone rang, shattering routine. Director Foster. Her face drained, professional mask cracking to shock. When did this? Pause. Yes, I understand. Stop everything. Stop everything immediately. She bolted, heels echoing urgency. Jennifer waited and holding, rosary tracing decades silently, sorrowful mysteries fitting her Via Dolorosa. Door burst open, Margaret breathless. Jennifer, panting. Something happened. Jennifer looked up, calm as still water. A nurse from the hospital just came forward to the police department. Catherine Morris. She was on duty the night Robert passed away. Jennifer's pulse quickened, world tilting. She confessed everything. She was the one who administered the wrong medication by mistake. She got scared and tampered with the records to blame you. She brought documents, evidence. What? Jennifer managed, voice steady despite storm. Why confess now? Margaret shook head. She said that last night she had an emotional breakdown, that she couldn't live with the guilt any longer, that something made her realize she couldn't let you. She trailed. Well, she confessed everything. Last night, the apparitions night. Jennifer's hand closed over pocketed rosary, beads warm as living heart. What does this mean? Margaret knelt, voice faltering first time in career. That your sentence will be suspended immediately. The case will be reopened. With the confession and the evidence she brought, you will be exonerated. It's a matter of time, a matter of days. But you are innocent, Jennifer. You always were. World halted. 6 years wait crashed. Jennifer's legs buckled, collapsing to floor. Rosary spilled, blue beads scattering like tears of joy. Silent sobs racked. Relief, vindication, divine timing. Margaret joined her, hand on shoulder. Jennifer, are you okay? Gnawed through tears. Guards peered, stunned. Protocol shattered. No execution today. Catherine's breakdown, prompted by what? She later testified. Sleepless night, sudden conscience flood, vision-like urge. Confess or perish in guilt. Parallel to Illinois' 2000 to 2011 execution moratorium, where DNA exonerated 20, including 13 death row, spotlighting coerced confessions and errors. Catherine's voluntary act a modern echo. Afternoon chaos. Lawyers swarmed, media sniffed. Jennifer isolated, rosary reclaimed, clutching photo of Emily. Calls arranged. First to Linda. It's over. I'm coming home. Emily's scream of joy pierced lines. Evening. Transferred to general population pending review. Scent of roses faded, but peace endured. 2 weeks blurred. Hearings, validations. Judge reviewed Catherine's docs, tampered logs, hidden originals. Prosecution conceded. November 30th. Gates opened. Jennifer stepped into crisp air, free woman. Emily and Linda waited, banner. Welcome home, Mom. Emily ran, collision of arms. Long, unrestricted hug. I knew it, Emily cried. I knew she was going to save you. Jennifer held tight. You were right. You were always right. Rosary pressed between them. Blue beads binding miracle. 3 months later. Small rented house. Modest, sunlit. Emily weekends. Rebuilding brick by brick. Scars lingered. Nightmares of cells. Distrustful glances. But progress. Therapy. Support groups. Jennifer found the rosary in a box. fingers tracing. The night replayed. Light, scent, smile. She whispered, thanks daily. Faith reborn not in dogma, but experience. Freedom tasted like spring rain after drought, sharp, cleansing, overwhelming. Jennifer's release made local headlines. Death row nurse exonerated after shock confession. Reporters camped outside the modest Chicago suburb home she'd rented, microphones thrusting for sound bites. She declined most, shielding Emily, but one interview slipped through, a Catholic station eager for the rosary angle. Jennifer spoke softly. A daughter's gift became heaven's tool. The clip viralized, blue rosary trending, echoing the miraculous medal's 1830 Paris spread, where Catherine Labour's visions minted millions, graces flowing to the desperate. Reintegration wasn't seamless. Job hunts. Hospitals hesitated, tainted record, even cleared. Wrongful conviction stamped files like scarlet letters. Support came unexpected. A nun from prison ministry connected her to a community clinic, Catholic Charities affiliate. We believe in second chances, the director said, herself a reformed addict. Jennifer started part-time, vitals, charts, no meds yet. Patients sensed her empathy. One elderly man confessed, "You look like you've walked through fire." She smiled, "And come out refined." Emily bridged gaps. Weekends, baking cookies, guitar jams, normalcy's sweet rebellion. Nights, Jennifer woke gasping, cell walls closing in. Emily crawled in, rosary in hand. "Pray with me, Mom." They did. Hail Mary's weaving mother-daughter bond tighter than blood. This mirrored post-exoneration struggles documented by the Innocence Project. 375 plus DNA, clears since 1989, average 14 years lost. Many battling PTSD, yet faith communities aiding rebuild per Catholic social teaching in Fratelli Tutti, 2020, urging solidarity with the marginalized. Catherine Morris faced charges, tampering, perjury. Trial swift, plea deal for truth. In court, she avoided Jennifer's eyes, muttering, "Guilt ate me alive that night. Couldn't sleep, felt pushed." Jennifer testified not for vengeance, but closure. "I forgive you." Live better. Gesture stunned courtroom, evoking John's gospel. "Neither do I condemn you." 811. Media dubbed it mercy on trial. 6 months post-release, Jennifer aced nursing recertification. Full-time at the clinic. Pediatrics wing, bandaging scraped knees, calming fevered brows. A toddler's mother recognized her. "You're the miracle lady." Jennifer blushed, deflecting to Mary. Evenings, she volunteered at a women's shelter. Ex-inmates, abuse survivors. "I know cages," she'd say, sharing rosary stories. One woman, hardened by decades inside, accepted beads if it worked for you. The park incident crystallized grace. Saturday stroll with Emily. Autumn leaves crunching, laughter over school tales. Jennifer halted at a bench, drawn to adjacent flower bed. Roses bloomed defiant, soft pink, dozens, fragrance exploding like that cell night. She knelt, inhaling deep. Tears welled. "Mom, you okay?" Emily asked. Jennifer touched a petal, whispering inaudible thanks. Warmth returned. That presence, peace profound. "I'm more than fine, sweetheart." For a heartbeat, blue mantle shimmered in mind's eye, words spread in faith circles. A local parish invited Jennifer to speak. Rosary prayer group. Nervous, she recounted. Trial, prison, Emily's gift, apparition, confession timing. Audience wept. Rosaries multiplied. Blue rosary became slogan. Replacements gifted to the doubting. This paralleled Guadalupe's Tilma Rose's convincing Bishop Zumarraga in 1531, or Fatima's 1917 miracle of the sun witnessed by 70,000, prompting conversions amid World War I horror. Jennifer's scars faded, but testimony grew. She mentored exonerees, advocating reform. Illinois' 2011 execution abolition of victory she celebrated. With Emily, they attended Mass sporadically at first, then regularly. Baptismal graces rekindled. Jennifer received reconciliation, tears cleansing soul anew. Mary led me back, she told the priest. 1-year anniversary. Clinic threw a party. Cake inscribed second chances. Catherine sent a letter, apology, amends via restitution fund. Jennifer replied, forgiven, pray for each other. Cycle broken, life normalized yet elevated. Jennifer coached Emily's soccer, dated cautiously, a widower from church, rosary in his pocket too. Nights, she prayed fully now, joyful for Emily, sorrowful for lost years, glorious for future. The blue rosary hung bedside, beads worn smooth that eye in darkest moments. Light appears, not expected, but perfect. Jennifer's story, proof. Years folded like rosary decades, each bead a milestone of mercy. Jennifer's life, once shattered by injustice, rebuilt on unbreakable foundations: faith, family, forgiveness. The small house became home, walls adorned with Emily's artwork, guitar in the corner, blue rosary on a nail by the door, catching morning light like a beacon. Emily, now 18, thrived, college scholarship for nursing, inspired by her mother's resilience. I want to heal like you were healed, she'd say, fingering replica beads. Weekends evolved. Park picnics, movie nights, prayers blending laughter and Hail Marys. Jennifer's clinic role expanded. Head nurse, mentoring interns on compassion amid protocols. Patients sought her, the one who understands pain. She listened, shared sparingly. The cell, the light, the roses. Exonerees found her through networks. Support groups met monthly, rosaries central. Objects of hope, she'd call them, echoing the memoir. Inspired by this confidence, fly unto thee. This prayer, penned by Saint Bernard of Clairvaux in the 12th century, sustained medieval prisoners. Now it anchored modern innocence, aligning with Catholic social teaching in Rerum Novarum, 1891, and beyond, decrying systemic wrongs while uplifting the oppressed. Catherine served probation, transformed, volunteering at the same clinic, shadowing Jennifer in silent amends. Awkward at first, then profound, joint testimonies at justice reforms. Guilt's prison is self-made, Catherine said. Mercy freed us both. Their duo spoke at Innocence Project galas, highlighting Illinois' post-2003 reforms, video interrogations, evidence preservation, preventing repeats. The park roses became legend. Annually, on Apparition Eve, Jennifer and Emily visited that bench. Blooms persisted unnaturally, pink petals defying seasons, fragrance evoking the cell. Locals left notes. For miracles, parish erected a grotto nearby. Small Mary statue, plaque, Mother of the Innocent. Pilgrims came, healings whispered, addictions broken, reconciliations sparked. This mirrored lured ongoing graces, 70-plus verified cures, or Akita's 1973 weeping statue. Urging repentance amid turmoil, Jennifer married the widower, Mark, gentle soul, fellow parishioner. Simple ceremony, Emily maid of honor, rosary entwined in bouquet. Vows under Mary's gaze, in darkness and light. Honeymoon, Guadalupe Basilica, Mexico, Tilma's stars awe-inspiring. Jennifer knelt. Thank you for roses in winter. Decade later, Jennifer authored quietly, Blue Beads of Freedom, memoir blending trial transcripts, prison journals, apparition account. Proceeds funded exoneree scholarships, book signings, crowds clutching rosaries. Write Blue Rosary, the object a daughter gave that changed everything. She'd urge, echoing your call, legacy rippled. Emily, RN now, led hospital Marian devotions. Jennifer, grandmothered, teaching toddlers beads, stories of grandma's angel visit. Prison ministry flourished. She visited facilities, distributing blue replicas. Hold tight, mother's listening. In quiet moments, Jennifer reflected, darkest cell birthed brightest faith. Not expected, light at midnight, but perfect. Heaven's timing, Mary's nudge. Sometimes, in our deepest despair, when doors slam shut and hope flickers out, that's when the impossible breaks through. Not with fanfare, but fragrance, light, love. Jennifer's miracle. Reminder that no sentence is final with God, no wrong irredeemable. If this stirred your soul, join our prayer community. Chain of Virgin Mary devotees worldwide, sharing graces. Click below, become a member. Comment. Blue Rosary, the object a daughter gave that changed everything. Let's see hearts reached. Share your miracle below. Subscribe, bell on. More faith, redemption, modern wonders. May Mary bless, protect you and yours. Amen.